Hi, welcome to the Piano Podcast. I'm your host, Mario Ajero. I have two special guests with me here today. And over the next few episodes, we will be featuring what I believe to be the very first ever video podcast of Rachmaninoff's Second Piano Concerto. And all that is possible with my two wonderful guests here today. First is my colleague, Gene Moon. Gene, thanks for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Gene Moon is the director of orchestras here at Stephen F. Austin State University in Nacogdoches, Texas. And he is the artistic director and conductor of the Orchestra of the Pines. Second is Amy Cheng, who will be the featured piano soloist of the performance of Rachmaninoff's Piano Concerto No. 2 by the Orchestra of the Pines. Thanks for joining us here, Amy.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Gene, let me ask you first. For those who aren't familiar with the Orchestra of the Pines, why don't you tell us a little bit about the orchestra?
The Orchestra of the Pines is a full orchestra that incorporates three separate forces. We have our advanced student body from SFA, my colleagues, our faculty members, and also regional import players that we bring in from the Dallas, Denton, Houston, and sometimes even the Oklahoma, Louisiana area. It's a collaboration where the students prepare for about 6 weeks before each concert. And then during each concert weekend, we have our full forces of faculty and our imports come in for 3 rehearsals and have a concert. It has several purposes. Number one, it gives a great experience to our students to work in such a great full orchestra with such professional players. And on the same token, it gives East Texas a wonderful regional orchestra to be proud of and come to listen to some great orchestral literature as well.
Oh, all right. Now, I first met Amy when just about over a year ago, right?
Right.
At the National Conference on Keyboard Pedagogy just outside Chicago, and I didn't even realize that we had, at that particular time, that we had a mutual friend in Gene, so it's neat how we have this little small world here. Amy, why don't you tell a little bit about yourself for those who don't know you, as far as like your musical training and what other musical activities and projects that you're currently involved in.
Okay, I was born in Taiwan and I came to the States in 1989 to pursue music. I went to high school in Native, Massachusetts, Walnut Hill School. Then later on, went on to study piano at Curtis, Yale, and New England Conservatory. And I thoroughly enjoyed my time there. And my primary teacher called Frank and Joaquin Ben. Well, currently I'm teaching at Oklahoma City University. And I also do a lot of chamber music. Currently, I'm co-director of a chamber music series called The Bright Music with my husband, clarinetist Chet Burrow, and we collaborate, extensively with local musicians as well as musicians from all over the U.S. And we really enjoy that. Yeah. Cool.
All right. Gene, the program of the concert that you and the Orchestra of the Pines and Amy is performing on is entitled Russian Storytelling. You're doing Tchaikovsky's Romeo and Juliet Fantasy Overture. You're also doing Rimsky-Korsakov's Scheherazade. How does the Rachmaninoff Second Piano Concerto fit into this program with pieces that are so overtly programmatic in this particular case?
The Rachmaninoff is in itself somewhat programmatic as far as how Rachmaninoff uses the folk idioms and folk songs and tunes that you'll hear in the concerto. Many of them that you hear in the second movement and also the first movement are derived from tunes that he hears around him all the time as folk songs. And also, Rachmaninoff was, if I'm not mistaken, also highly influenced by Tchaikovsky and in his compositions. So there's a relationship composer-wise, and also the use of these folk songs and idioms in his concerto as well.
Yeah, I agree with that. That long, meandering, beautiful melodic line just keeps coming back that you will keep hearing, and all sections that's he used the march. Also, march idiom. That's also something really.
It's very Russian. Those
Russian.
Marches.
Yes.
Well, going beyond like the whole, the things that are so maybe indigenous or at least unique to Russian culture, the melodies that you talked about. The Second Piano Concerto seems to be one of the most popular pieces by Rachmaninoff. I know my dad; it was his favorite musical piece out of everything that he listened to. What do you think is it about the piece that is so magical, or that draws people into it, both from a piano soloist standpoint and also from people like my father who weren't really musicians, but they're just so drawn to this music?
Piece is in C minor. First of all, it's in a really dramatic key, and to me it's a very emotionally powerful key to be writing in. And then the second movement, you know, you have this just gorgeous E major writing, and just beautiful lines using the woodwinds, and I think orchestration itself is very colorful. Certainly, just not just the soloists from the soloistic point, but I think the orchestra itself it's really fulfilling to play this whole entire thing, this orchestra. And of course, you know, the finale, I think Rachmaninoff does a great job, just like, you know, he goes into C major, and to me at least, there's this transformation, you know, that kind of ties the whole thing together.
I think from just your common man or woman along the street, I think the main reason why the second concerto may be more familiar or favored as opposed to maybe the third piano concerto is the fact of the long flowing melodies that we can go home singing. We can always hear that first movement melody that happens in the second thematic area, and also in the second movement as well, the opening solos that happen in the winds. These are all tunes that the audiences hear, and actually they're used in all other walks of life. Many church melodies that we hear today come from that first movement theme, and a lot of other pieces utilize Rachmaninoff's second piano concerto thematic material.
Right. Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys joining us here and being part of this podcast, and I wish you the best of luck on tonight's performance.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Hope you guys enjoy the performance here of Rachmaninoff's Second Piano Concerto by Amy Cheng, piano soloist, and Jean Moon directing the Orchestra of the Pines. See you later.